Okay, what we're going to do here is basically the opposite. We're going from expanded form to general form. Okay, so we have the expanded form here that I'm circling now. All right, and the expanded form is what we're going to do is we're going to go from here and we're going to just put that in general form. Okay, now we can't because basically we might be given the equation of a circle in expanded form, but that doesn't tell us the center or the radius. Okay, we need to write it in this general form expressed here. Okay, because then we can easily determine the center of that circle and the radius. Okay, so once again we're going to need to use the perfect square rule because we're going to be doing something called completing the square. So what we're going to start with is the equation that we finished with in the previous video. Okay, and the reason being is because we're dealing with the same circle. This time we're pretending we don't know the center and radius, but rather we're starting with the circle in expanded form, and we want to write it in general form. Okay, so the way we're going to start this problem is by putting together the x coordinates and the x factors and the y factors. So we've got x squared take 4x. Okay, and the y factors plus y squared take 6y. And what we want to do is move this 12 over to the other side. So we've got negative 12. To get rid of that, we just add 12 to both sides. Okay, so minus 12 plus 12 is 0. That'll cancel, and we get a 12 over here. Now, to complete the square, what we have to do is, I'm going to write this out. I'm just going to leave some spaces in here. Take 4x plus, okay, I'm going to leave a space there. I'm going to put here plus y squared take 6y plus, I'm going to leave another space there, and then we've got that's equal to 12. Okay, now I'm going to change color here because by completing the square, what we're doing is we're adding half of this number here. Okay, half of this number here to this factor, and half of this number here to this factor down here. All right, so let's do that. We're adding minus 4 divided by 2, half of it, and squared. Okay, that's just the rule for completing the square. You add half of the middle value, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. Okay, so over here we do exactly the same thing. We're adding half of that minus 6. Okay, so half because it's over 2, and then we're squaring that. Now, we can do anything we want to an equation as long as we do it to both sides. So we've done it to this side, we've done it here, which means we just need to do the exact same thing over here. Okay, so over here we've got plus minus 4 on 2 squared and plus minus 6 on 2 squared. All right. Now, in the next step, I'll just go back to black and I'll just show you what we're going to do is expand that out, calculate that. Okay, so we have x squared take 4x. Now, minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. So I'm going to put that in brackets, and you have minus 2 squared. We've got the plus down there that continues as well. Now, the y factor, we've got plus y squared take 6y. Now, minus 6 on 2 is minus 3, so we've got plus, I'll put it in brackets, minus 3 squared, and this is equal to 12 plus, now let's just calculate these ones, minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2, and minus 2 squared is 4, okay, so we have plus 4, then over here we have minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3, and minus 3 squared is 9, okay. Now the reason we didn't calculate that square there is because we're using the perfect square rule. Okay, so if we scroll up here, what we can see is this that I'm circling right now is equal to this. Okay, x squared, x take a squared is equal to x squared take 2ax plus a squared. So we can go from there to there, like we did in the previous video, or we can go from here back to there. So if we look at what we're at the moment, we've got x squared, take 4x, plus minus 2 squared. This is a mirror image of this up here, okay? In this case, a is equal to 2. So let's punch it into this equation. All right, x take a squared. So it's going to be, for the first factor, x take 2 squared. And we're adding, let's do the same thing for this factor, okay? To make it a perfect square, it's just going to be y take 3 squared. So that if you expanded that out, that's what you would get, okay? And if you expanded the y take 3 squared out, this is what you would get here, okay? And that is equal to 12 plus 4 plus 9, so 16 and 25. Okay, now look at this, all right? We have this, which is exactly the same as the general form of a circle here, okay? I'll copy this and move it down so we can see. All right, look at this, x take a squared, okay? So we can say this is the general form of the circle, okay? It has center, center of x coordinate a, where a is 2, and y coordinate of 3, okay? And this, and radius, the radius squared is equal to 25. So if r squared equals 25, that means the radius is going to equal 5, okay? So what we've done here is we've worked backwards. We've started with a circle in expanded form, and we can't deduce any information about that. But working backwards, we can see that it has a center at coordinates 2 and 3 and a radius of 5.